How much has retiree income risen over the last 3 decades or so? So very interesting. This is from the Survey of Consumer Finances, which I've done a couple videos on. I love it, man. I love it. I do. I'm not going to look at all this data. You can put a little filter in there and come down here and you can say, look, I want 35 to 44-year-old kids. We'll get rid of, right there. We'll hit OK. And I want to get rid of those guys. But anyway, it's just so much stuff you can do in here. It's fantastic. I love it. We get rid of those guys. Before tax income is what we're going to look at here. And interesting, the thing that jumped out, look at this. This is in 2022 dollars, by the way. This is for 35.44, not the basis of this video, but I thought that was interesting. This is after adjusted for inflation. The income level is the exact same amount by $2,000 more from 33 years ago. So 1989, the median income for someone 35 to 44 was $84,000. Fast forward to 2022 is $86,000. Now that's not mean they're falling behind because this is the same purchasing power. All right, this is net of inflation. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You'll see it says in 2022 dollars right there. So these people haven't lost. They kept up with inflation. That's it. But check this out. If we're going to get rid of this guy here. We're going to go to 65. We'll get rid of that guy there. Watch this, though. This guy's at 38,000. Now he's at 60,000. And we can see a visualization of that here. 65 to 74 is this one on the top. 38,000 in 1989. 60,000 in 2022. So they've increased their spending power by 22% net of inflation. Well, they're not keeping up with inflation. They are. They absolutely are. And then we can go to this category too. The old fogies of this group here is over 75 years old. And right there. And we hit OK. And they were at 31,000 in 1989. Now they're at 49,000. So they've actually increased their income by I think I had 54% or something. It was 54%. Because they're at 31,000 there, and now they're at 48,000 now. Isn't that crazy? That's how much income has grown. Again, net of inflation. This is in 2022 dollars. But watch again. These two groups right here. Look at that, man. These two groups have just barely kept up with inflation. 35 to 44 and 45 to 54. The 45 to 54 in 1989 was $89,000 in 2022 dollars. 2022 is $92,000. Hasn't grown hardly at all. Same thing here. Look at that decline right there. That's nuts. I wonder what happened. Jump up. No wonder why these guys all voted for Clinton. Declined under Bush. Jumped up under Obama. Jumped up for Trumpster too. Declined under Clinton. Ran up like crazy. Right there, 2004. Then just got destroyed. Look at that. Their real purchasing power went from $96,000 in 2004 to $77,000 just 10 years later. Isn't that crazy for that age group? Now, you got to look at it a little bit differently. So here we're going to say, okay, I am 40 years old right here. So I'm 35 to 44 is the green. So I'm 40 years old right here in 1989. I was making $84,000 a year. I'm 50 years old in 1998. I'm making $92,000 a year. So I went from 84 to 92. I'm 60 years old in 2008, 7, and now I'm making 55,000. It dropped significantly. No, 60 years old now I'm making 78,000. It dropped. I didn't want to say significant. No, wait, where am I at right here? Yeah, $78,000 right there. It dropped from right there. 92 to right there, 78, and real dollars. And some of it's because all these people quit work and stuff like that. Now I go down to 65 to 74, 40, 60. Now I'm 70 years old right here. And I'm making 62,000. So again, it's dropped, which makes sense because a lot of those people get out of the workforce. But again, I look at this. I want to compare. Look at these number sets. This is flat. These two top ones are flat relative to inflation. The purple and the green, basically just flat. These bottom ones, though, are way high from where they were. And that's the retirees. So retirees have made out like a bandit over the last 30 years relative to inflation. This age group right here is less than 35 years old. Let's take a look at them specifically. And they, oh man, they jumped way up. They went from 48 to freaking, what does that say, 60? Yeah, so they've done all right. Let's again look at this again. Yeah, that age group right there, it jumped up nicely in the last 15 or so years. The young people. Anyways, I thought that was interesting, and I don't really have any thoughts on that in terms of you hear all these people, we're not keeping up with inflation. Social Security isn't keeping up with inflation. I just proved it to you right there. You're maxing above inflation for retirement income. It's just a fact. If you were 65 to 74, 75 and older, your income has gone up much more than inflation has. Again, we can challenge how they measure inflation. That's fine. But these are factual information data sets. And it's actually even better than this because a lot of this data set doesn't include things like pulling money out of your savings account and stuff like that. It's interesting. But still, I'm not saying it's good. And I feel bad for the 35 because, for me, I'm 53 right now. So in 1989, I was 19 years old. Yeah, so in 1989, I was 19 years old. So I was in the less than 35-year-old age bracket, and that's probably me to a T. I was 19. I was 29 right there. So I went from whatever that is 48,000 in 2022 dollars. 10 years later, I went to 49 to 50,000. That's about right. I didn't hardly make any more. I made it enough to keep up with inflation. That was it. But look at that. 10 years later, I'm back down to friggin' 53,000. You're just breaking even relative to inflation, but you're not putting the ball forward. You're not moving the ball. But you're still putting money in your savings account, your 401ks, paying off debt and all that. It's just the older people just done great when it comes to income in retirement. Now, love your thoughts, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe down below. It's important you subscribe. I had a bunch of new subscribers when I told people to subscribe. So don't be a sucker, not subscribe. You need your old buddy Josh here to do the heavy lifting for you. I just tell you what to do. He said, that's right, Josh. You tell me what to think, and I'll do it for you. All right, God bless. We'll see you.